Hello and welcome to the Let's Talk Fraud Show, a podcast highlighting everything you need to know to fight fraud. My name is Soltan Hassanieh, and I use my experience as an internal auditor and my knowledge as a certified fraud examiner to spread awareness, helping you detect frauds and stop fraudsters. Thank you for joining us today. Hi there, welcome to another episode of the Let's Talk Fraud podcast. Now, if you've been hearing our show, you'll see that criminals who focus all of their efforts on stealing your money are beginning to reinvent schemes based on old themes like the famous Nigerian 419 scam. The scam is a kind of a letter informing you of a death of a family member that's overseas, and that he or she left you a fortune. This is for sure unbelievable. So why do people continuously believe such scams? Well, many of us are vulnerable by many ways of desperation, and there may be a need for instant cash, and we may convince ourselves into believing that maybe this fortune may be real. Stay tuned. In this episode, we'll be talking more about the Ponzi scheme, and after that, we'll be listening to your stories with fraud. Today's scheme is popular. Have you ever heard about the word Ponzi? I guess it's a yes. So, what's a Ponzi scheme? Or, in other words, what's a pyramid scheme? You may have heard about the pyramid scheme from friends, family, or neighbors. Usually, pyramid schemes recruit members at seminars, home meetings, over the phone, by email, or even through posts over social media. In a typical pyramid scheme, you pay to join. And basically, the scheme relies on you convincing other people to join up and to contribute with their money as well. In order for everyone to make profit, there is a need for an endless supply of new members that are promised a percentage as a profit. Some pyramid scheme promoters cover their true purpose by introducing products that are either overpriced or very low quality, or may even be difficult to sell. But making money out of the recruitment is still their main aim. The promoters at the top of the pyramid makes their money by having people join the scheme. They pocket the fees and other payments made by those who join under them. And it's a matter of time to hear that you got scammed and you lost your money. When the scheme collapses, relationships, friendships, and even marriages can be damaged over money lost in the scam. What are the warning signs? You need to keep an eye open on the following red flags. Are you offered a chance to join a group or a team where you need to recruit new members to make money? Does the scheme involve offering goods or services of little or doubtful value that serves only to promote the scheme? Does it require a big upfront costs? Does the promoter make claims stating that this is not a pyramid scheme, or even saying this is legal? We will be giving you tips on how to protect yourself by the end of the podcast. Don't miss that. Like what you hear so far? Make sure you never miss the show by clicking the subscribe button now. This podcast is made possible by listeners like you. Thank you for the support. Now back to the show. Have you ever been a victim of fraud? Unfortunately, many of us have. Fraud victims are growing at alarming rates. Now the internet makes banking and shopping easy, but it also makes it easier for the fraudsters to strike. It's hard to believe that half of the people who have received suspicious emails requesting personal information do not delete the emails. Well, in fact, every year, millions of people respond and send their personal and financial details to all sorts of unverified sources. In the following segment, we will hear some of your personal stories with fraud.
Hi, I'm going to be sharing what I've witnessed of fraud in my life. So the story goes like this. Once I was just by the ATM on a normal day, just taking some money out for myself, and on my way back to the parking lot, a stranger approached me, and he said that he won a coupon in a competition, and this coupon is for $30, and he's selling it because it's for one of the most famous restaurant chains around. So I bought it because it was very intriguing for me, and I made a plan for the next day to take my family out, and I did. We went to that restaurant, I gave them the coupon, and they said that it was completely fake. So I had to pay for dinner that day, but I was very embarrassed of the position I was put in and my family.
Guess I have been defrauded. I had a rent, and so I was putting myself out on the internet, searching for a roommate to share the apartment. And suddenly, I got an email from a guy that was saying that he is moving here for work and currently looking for a place and prefers a shared apartment. He sounded so friendly and fun over the email after several replies back and forth. But he needed me to send him an amount of $1,000 to buy a ticket from Romania to come over here, and that he told me that he will pay me back when he lands at the airport. He told me a lot of personal stories over the phone. It was big messed up drama. I was so close to sending him the money. Then I was like, this is too fishy. I have done some search on the internet and I got to know that I was a victim of a scam.
I would like to thank our guests for sharing their stories. Such stories might prevent someone else from falling for the same scam. It's all about prevention. I have a couple of tips for you. How can you protect yourself from a pyramid scheme or from falling into a Ponzi act? Well, first, do not let anyone pressure you into making decisions about money or investments. Always get independent financial advice. Second, question those schemes or products that claim a guaranteed income. Consider whether the rewards you have been promised are linked to product sales. If so, are the products of real value, sold at a reasonable price, and something that there is consumer demand for? Remember that family members and friends may try to involve you in a pyramid scheme without you realizing that it is one. Last but not least, keep in your mind that it's against the law not only to promote a pyramid scheme, but also to participate in one. Thank you for listening to the Let's Talk Fraud podcast. Before we go, show some love for your favorite podcast by leaving us a review, and don't forget to follow me on social media platforms listed in the description. Stay tuned for next week's episode, and don't forget, where there is a human, there is a fraud.